time for a busy schedule of parties. Whatever the true nature of the union and his authority, it was clear MC was well known.
It's 7:43 a.m. PST, Friday, June 13th, 2025. The imbecilic Everett Police Department upstairs is currently still believing they're going to come and perp their attempted murder. The only felony reported in 2017 to the FBI that they haven't made actionable. The only felony reported in 2023 and 2024 that hasn't been made actionable. Women upstairs known as Kishana and codename Mini-Me, then renamed Asshead, have cajoled and convinced them that not only are my videos not reaching Google servers, but also the man upstairs with the small penis that's been stealing money and packages from me since September 2023 is convinced that with the stream key that they've created that they can erase all of the evidence from upstairs. I wish you would come downstairs. Come on downstairs, Everett Police Department! Come on! It's time for your prize, a life sentence without parole. This is a consensual recording of Mystic Gwen pursuant to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I'm not an employee of the FBI, but I've been authorized to state I'm an informant for a year straight. In fact, I first became an informant in 2017 when I reported Officer Jared Irving and a variety of other named individuals for every felony that's been made actionable aside from my murder to be deemed as suicide, which is what they're currently attempting and why they're so concerned with the video and audio footage. There's a lot more details. Check out the prior videos descriptions, or I'll get to them later in this one, assuming these cowards don't come downstairs.
In a strange display, he left his car behind and reappeared striding along the road, leading a mob of excited local youths. MC's car had now caught up with him, and from somewhere he produced a thick wad of money, which he handed to one of the youths.
They're not boys that work for him.
No, they are not boys. They are just street boys.
They're just street youth.
Yeah.
Who are out of work and need money.
Yeah, exactly. Please, we have to leave now.
Why?
None of them is around. None of those
But one more question. Are we not safe now?
We are not safe, so it's better we leave there.
Okay.
I felt I'd had an insight into how MC maintained his popularity, using a kind of street theatre and an instinctive ability to connect with the poorest of Lagos society.
Granger knows that if you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, you go to great lengths, and sometimes heights, to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Granger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job
They
done.
also set the video before this to unlisted instead of public.
Just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Come on downstairs! Hurry the fuck up, Everett Police Department! Your 3 years plus of terror is over! It is over! It's a fucking wrap! You will be arraigned in less than a week! Come on downstairs!
The main target today, the stalls built illegally over open drains, and any shopkeepers who put up resistance. There was some concern that local area boys might try to defend their turf.
Are you in charge of the police backup? You're in charge of the police bit here? And so you just provide some backup and make sure everything goes smoothly? Yes. Do they give you much trouble?
Oh, no, there's no problem. Our duty is to give the problem. But this guy, security backup, that's what we're doing.
Security back, they get coverage. Yes.
Avoid the people who are attacking them.
These people were getting...
This public attacking them.
Why was he taken away, the man?
Very stubborn.
Very stubborn.
Very stubborn. This is electricity.
Illegal.
This is the lights.
And like electricity.
Yes. Hello, good shop. Inside. Selling markets.
See, he's built his own shack around the pylons carrying the electricity.
Get him arrested. Take us out the blood barrier.
Who's in charge of the area boys here? Do you know?
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Fine.
And you are in charge here a little bit?
I'm a member of National Union.
Are you?
So we are the one in charge of this case.
Are you?
Fine.
And you change, so you give out the tickets and to the drivers? Yes. Do you know MC Oluwabo?
I know it very well. It's the state treasurer.
Do you like him?
Why not? It's our boss. I love it.
And what do you think about what Kai are doing today? Do you like it?
We like it. We want Lagos to be clean.
Do you?
We like it.
Some area boys here would be protecting the illegal traders.
No. In Bariga, we don't do that. We don't do that in Bariga.
Commander, do you think it could happen? Does that happen sometimes?
Yes, it will happen.
It does happen, doesn't
Yes.
it? Even in Bariga.
Aggressively, anywhere in Lagos, aggressively they come out
Yes.
to fight against us, since they are area boys.
Yes.
But there's a way we do things with them, you understand? Sometimes we discretionally we withdraw tactically from the scene. If we know they want to overpower us, then we come back with the security backup.
Yeah.
Then we can be able to achieve what we want to achieve.
And he controls the boys in the area? Is that fair to say?
Sure, of course. That's why that's one of the areas. Some executive member of the National Union in any park would have at least a 95% say over all his boys.
Over the
To
boys?
be able to control them, yes.
Back in the world of MC, and though he was still in control of the union, he'd been forced to call an emergency election to reaffirm his legitimacy. But I was keen to get back to the grassroots of the union. I wanted to understand more about the low-level area boys and the lives they led. A local fixer called Afolabi Martins had offered to introduce me to a small-time gang. Its boss was called Raji.
Thank you, I'm Louis.
This is right.
Louis. Louis.
Thank you.
Before I'd even reached their hangout, I'd already caused some kind of a problem.
No problem.
I will explain all to you. Just to be patient. We are almost there.
Let's go.
It's okay.
There's no problem.
People are claiming that especially the man that spoke, was mentioning that the youth, of course, they're their children, but they did not inform them that they're having guests or visitors in the neighborhood. So that was why, and all is settled.
These are your boys.
Yes.
These are your boys. Who cut you? Someone from outside. Why?
Razak.
Razak. I'm Louis. Louis.
Cross and die.
If you cross and die, what does it mean? It simply means that if you crosses his way, you die.
Hey guys, my way that died.
Is that your name?
Yeah, that's my name.
Why?
They call me the father warrior. I called my enemy. I kill everybody.
What's she gonna go there?
Okay, Louis, that's Louis.
Louis, my son.
My son.
My son.
Where do you work?
I don't have work. I'm the area boy.
You're an area boy. Do you control an area?
Yeah, control petty.
Do you get money from controlling petty? They give you some money.
If I need money, I'll go around to those shop collecting money. If they don't want to give money, I'll give them slap. I can collect money by force.
Can you?
Despite the rowdiness of the group, they all owed allegiance to Raji.
What do you do?
I really did avoid mirrors, and now I see a mirror. I'm like, hello, gorgeous.
Airheads have more fun.
Okay, it's fine. Raji cannot really express himself in English. We do need to assist him. He's talking about the union, National Union of Road and Transport Workers. So he is a member.
Did he? So you're from the union, and then you make money from shops.
Also,
Yes. For protection? Yeah.
he said he secures push to the street from the start, I mean the point,
Yes.
to the end of the road.
From who? Who do you protect from? From crime? From other gangs? From police? Who from?
Okay, if somebody comes, an outsider, or boys even within the environment, goes out to steal and come into the gym house, gets rid of him. Yeah, such person out.
Can you fight? How? What, like fight? You've done that. Is that where these?
You don't like fight.
You don't like fighting. So why do you fight?
I don't know why. We need good job. We don't have job yet. You know that we need good job. We need job.
You need a good job.
Yeah, we need job. We want to work. We want to work with our own hands. We need job. Yeah. We don't want to fight again. We don't want war. We want peace. We want peace in anywhere, but we need job. Why there's no job?
My encounter with Raji's boys took a last unexpected turn when the man known as Cross and Die serenaded us as we left.
How does he control an area?
I control an area based on the power bestowed in him. He has so much influence. He has a jurisdiction whereby he controls and he collects money from businesses and shops.
These people give him money, or he extorts money. Which is it?
You see, there are two dimensions to it now. In Nigeria today, especially where somebody is relevant in the neighborhood, people think it's a right for him to take money from them. But under normal circumstances, the money he collects is illegal, is unofficial. Is that okay? But he sees more the royalty that comes to him.
Technically speaking, it's illegal, but it is widely tolerated.
Yeah, it is
There's
tolerated.
an element of consent.
Yeah. There's an element of concern, it's widely tolerated, and nobody sees it as the wrong practice.
For the first time, I felt I understood how deeply the culture of the area boys reached into the civic structure of Lagos. The city and its institutions had been hijacked by gangs. But I also felt a strange empathy for the plight of the area boys, born into poverty and leading lives of desperation and violence. I was on my way back to see Memok. The union election to reaffirm MC's legitimacy had taken place that morning, and he was keen that I should come along to share the hour of triumph. Outside the union headquarters, MC's supporters were already celebrating. It seemed MC had run unopposed, thereby making victory a certainty. Among the crowd were men in blood-stained shirts.
What happened? What's the matter? How did you get? You got a. Hello. How did you get hurt? How did you get hurt?
Come on downstairs, Everett Police Department. You are about to be detained and arraigned for over 250 separate felonies. Quit fucking with the YouTube. You are just further incriminating your dumbass selves. You are not officers. You are about to be convicted for a series of felonies, not the least of which includes attempted murder. Come on downstairs.
Why were they firing the gun? No, they have to protect him. They have to use everything to protect him. They were protecting.
Come on, I gotta yell at you because you won't let me file sheriff's reports or contact the FBI. Hurry up! It's time for you to feel the full force of federal law. Come on now.
But he has the major people that support him. Everyone in that crowd seemed to like him, though. Yeah, but then, he still have to protect himself.
You're gonna learn what real professionals are. And that is sick of your child abusing, thieving, fraudster, stalking, psycho asses having a fucking badge. Hurry up! Come on down! Call the sheriffs! Call the sheriffs! Please! So they'll arrest you.
After the excitement of the day's events, I found myself unwinding with some of MC's
Come
supporters.
get your prize! Attempted murder! That's all that's left that was reported to the FBI! That's why you're preventing reports in video! Come on down! Come on, big boys! Come on, stalkers! Come and lick my fucking asshole! Hurry the fuck up! Your time is now!
We have everything. We are more than them.
I felt I'd had a glimpse behind the scenes at the way the union really functioned, ruling the streets through its cohorts of boys and headed by its enigmatic treasurer, MC.
We've got about 50 million followers. We're in the billions of views. And we're a small team. we always felt like our content was all about entertainment and being fun, but there was also this, sort of professional business side. One of the things that we knew was basically essential was getting our own website, so people did actually see a proper official group who mean business and who can deliver. We always had this vision of bringing things into existence that previously had never been seen.
This is the world's largest act.
We bounced a plane and a boat and a car, and we now get unbelievable opportunities to do things like film balloon popping races with Manchester City. I don't know all the things that we're going to get to do in the next year or 5 years, but if we can do this as a job, anything's possible.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on with.
Chupa Chups, forever fine.
My time in Lagos was nearly up, but I'd been invited for one last outing with Kai in the company of the KMG. He was making a tour of some of the Kai forces. The target today wasn't illegal traders or area boys, but people who were not cleaning their houses.
I'm not satisfied. I want you to arrest as many as possible. All right? I trust you. I want you to arrest as much as possible.
They were enforcing a new law making the last Saturday of every month an environmental cleanup day. Unless authorized, all Lagos residents were required to be at home.
What is your name? Sunday. What is today?
Saturday.
Saturday. What do you do today? Environmental.
Environmental.
Good boy. God bless you. Who is this man? Go.
Come get your life sentence without parole, Everett Police Department. We've been waiting a long time. Come on downstairs.
Oh, these are office.
Yes.
That refuse to do the environmental.
Right.
So we are now taking them down to the headquarters and outside.
Yes.
To the the process is what we want to do.
What happened with your little baby? You are traveling? Huh? Were you traveling? You know your English? Huh? Is it deaf and dumb? Leave this girl, this woman to go with her children.
Okay, sir.
Right? And warn them. Let them make an undertaking. Next time they don't do that.
Okay, sir.
This ones with little children, allow them to go.
Okay, sir.
You're showing mercy to these.
Yes, I have to, because of the little children. We fear God. You must have the fear of the Almighty God. And when I see things like this, mercy you should temper mercy. Let's go.
And when I say come on downstairs, I'm not referring to the psycho cunts that are in the southern portion. Thank you for being so readily accessible for your detainment. Remember, don't worry about HOA fees going up. Anne-Marie Bauer's going to prison, just like Andy and Kelly.
What is the biggest challenges you face doing your work?
My greatest problem right now is I need more troops and I need more vehicles.
Do you ever worry that you
Come
catch
on
the small
down!
fry, the little guys who are out selling streets trying to make a living, albeit in an illegal way?
They're underage?
Well, street traders, hawkers, people like that. But the big people behind the scenes, the mafia types, the
I understand
hoodlums,
what you're saying.
that they're not being
They are
caught.
godfathers.
Yes.
Godfathers and
The godfathers, the area fathers.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's possible such a thing is existing. You know, there's one funny game I play. As soon as they are detained and I notice they are so-called godfathers and godmothers, I get them arrested. And I send them to court straight away.
What if they don't come into the compound? What if they're just out there in a show?
I don't have to look for them. I don't have to, it's not my business to look for them. My concern is the suspect doing that bad thing on the road.
They're not the ones out carrying the goods for sale or hawking on the streets. They're behind the scenes running
Listen,
protection
don't contradict
rackets.
yourself. The godfathers are the ones behind those ones carrying things to sell. So I repeat, as soon as those suspects are arrested and detained here before prosecution, if those godfathers and godmothers If they're strolling,
Some of the people watching this are astute enough to be ignoring the conversation upstairs and paying attention to the documentary that I'm playing. It was a symbolic choice. Law and disorder in Lagos.
I worry that there are guys behind.
Let me be very clear. Nothing I have said is a lie. You are going to be incarcerated. You will be arraigned within 5 business days. If you reach for your holster, you will be taken down by the Bureau. The only remaining felony the Everett Police Department hasn't made actionable that was reported in 2017 to the FBI is to murder me. That is the only reason you've been tinkering with the video. Let me also make it explicitly clear, although the FBI would love for you not to believe me, that we are very much connected to numerous agents from sheriffs to the Bureau who have been waiting for this day, in some instances for longer than me, and they plan on kicking your fucking asses right into the federal penitentiary and clearing out the entire Everett Police Department. It went from the North Everett precinct to, in the last 2 weeks, the police department. The chief of police, John, is facing life in prison if you proceed, and you've chosen to proceed because you're actively trying to murder me and starve me. I'm not stuttering. I'm not scared. Come downstairs, Everett Police Department! I am fucking ready for you to go to prison.
There's 1,000. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. There's more in there.
Yes, there's more in there.
Can I get another one?
No. Let's put it back.
What you thought were defenses and destruction of evidence is additional counts.
Yeah, for you work for MC quite closely.
Yep.
Are you in any way worried or troubled by the little bits of violence that are in the background that you hear about?
You know, it all depends on your own point of view. See, in this part of the world, there's some things I've come to understand, which is the way of the Caribbeans, not the way of the Americans. The way of the Irish, sometimes not the way of the British. So it has become like a way of life in this part of the world for stuff like that. You understand?
It seems that in Lagos, there's a system where certain areas, they have an area father or a godfather.
Kind of.
And he's kind of in charge.
Yes.
And to some extent, he's unaccountable.
Yes.
He's his own law in his area. There's so much influence, so much respect in his area.
Yeah, but of course, fine, but then he still has.
Do you think that's a good system?
There is no way in the world where you don't have people you account for. Even in Britain, the Queen is so powerful.
Are you making an analogy with the Queen?
Yes. Yes.
Do you think, but what I'm wondering is that good to have someone who is not really formally part of the government?
He is part of the government.
Well, then what? He's part of the union.
He's part of the union, and at the same time, he's a politician.
His authority doesn't come from the government, does it? It comes from his ability to dominate the area.
Yes, his ability to dominate the area.
Yes.
But then he's still subject to the dictates of the government.
Overall, you feel it's positive what MC does?
Yes. It's true positive. It's true.
Could you find any negative?
For now, I can't really tell. Frankly, Sarah was just one good person. One very good person. That's it.
A short while later, I said goodbye to MC. And with that, I was leaving Lagos. Brutal at times and somewhat eccentric. It was, maybe because of that, more vivid than the world I was used to. A city of extremes, in which order and chaos were sometimes hard to tell apart.
If you get this girl when I know before, we became bamba, 2 + 2 = 4. You need to see her to get the gist, this date correct. Not be small vital statistics. Attack defense. Set like no tomorrow. I look for her. No say I look for solo. Her name na Amuli, just like for the chorus. This babe take me well. She take me chorus. Before now, no babe don't make me holla. This one na big wahala. As I dey young, when we first see you, give me good love, and I give you safe.
My missing teeth isolated me from the world. I trusted Clear Choice, and you gave me back my smile in one day.
Airheads.
The blast came without warning. Leveling buildings, setting cars on fire, and shattering the glass in windows more than a mile away.
We need assistance.
In an instant, 100,000 square meters of Lagos, schools, homes, businesses were destroyed. No wonder people thought this was a bomb.
What is happening to this country?
When the blast went off on the morning of Sunday, March 15th, almost 300 children were gathering for morning mass at Bethlehem Girls College, just across the road.
All right, let's do the house tour.
The next second, the school was gone.
Here we have the living room. We have the signs affixed to the interiors since the Everett Police Department criminally and illegally removed the ones that were out there and on file at the courthouse, as well as Passover decorations while moving things from the inside of my home to the outside. The FBI instructed me to leave that all exactly as it is. The interior signs state very clearly, the Everett Police Department, Anne Marie Bauer, Andy Kelly Garcia, et al. Is a domestic terrorist organization. They're going to prison for the rest of their lives. They're trying to starve me, dated May 19th. And it says real clearly right over there, arrest your fellow co-conspirators and domestic terrorists. Or embrace your fucking prison sentence.
Or NNPC, the country's state-owned oil firm.
Then you keep in mind that according to the Bureau, not only did it become the Everett Police Department, but the chief of police, who I've never met, a man named John, he's going to prison for the rest of his life if I continue to be legally detained and you guys don't arrest from within. And that was over a week ago.
The blast, they told the press.
And you've not done that. Some of you have been getting paid for over 3 years to perpetrate a series of felonies first reported to the FBI in 2017. You have never been part of a legitimate operation. You have always been an aggravated criminal conspiracy/organization/enterprise. The state of Washington has their own indictment for you, and according to the FBI, it is, quote, hardcore. You will be arraigned with that after you've been detained and arraigned in King County in a federal courthouse where there are numerous judges who've been waiting to meet you. The Bureau has had people flown out here from Washington, D.C. for almost, well, since November and September. Just to prosecute you, the Bureau has had agents and prosecutors flown out from D.C. in September of 2020. Come on downstairs, motherfuckers.
Amarachi and Consul, both 13.
That concludes the tour of the house where you've been illegally detaining me for over 300, stealing from me, impeding with federal investigations, illegally entering, perpetrating so many kidnappings that the likelihood of your conviction for being a domestic terrorist is 100%. And remember, in the federal penitentiary, you will be one totem above pedophiles who murder children.
All the tools you need. Drive more sales with customizable gift cards and flexible product subscriptions. Retain customers with a point-based loyalty program, email automations, and reach millions with sales channel integrations. Complete your setup with a personalized analytics dashboard. Make smart business decisions and shape the next phase of your business. Build, manage, and grow from one place. Go to Wix and launch your online business today.
Chupa Chups, forever fun.
But their service was in a girls' school, just meters from the center of the explosion.
We're in the refectory, having mass. I knew it. Why were they in the homily? Says in West Wing. The refectory exploded. All the students were running for their lives.
Oh, the interior signs also say that the Everett Police Department rejected dozens and dozens and dozens of legitimate police reports before, during, and after they perped the felonies that were reported. Then they thought they erased them all, but guess what? As the FBI had me fucking tell your dumbasses, you didn't erase a goddamn thing. And like the FBI told you with some of the legal filings they wrote, every instance of that was 3 different felonies. Codename Mini-Me is looking at over 1,000 years in prison with minimum mandatory sentences. So is Kishana. They want to ride in the Bureau's truck. They're gonna ride.
We tracked down the person who shot this clip, and using the metadata from her phone, confirmed that it was recorded at 8:51. 5 minutes before the blast. So what does it tell us? First, it shows that before anything had ignited, there was a major leak of vaporized liquid coming from a single source. It also gives us a precise location for that leak. This is the view captured on the girl's phone. We see the car park and the electricity pylon. If we move into Google Street View, we can see the roof line of a hostel belonging to the Bethlehem Girls' College. These details allow us to pinpoint the source of the leak. It was coming from behind the truck, precisely here. So what was leaking? The NNPC's explanation was that the truck collided with gas cylinders stored at a gas processing plant located near their pipeline. So could this leak be coming from gas cylinders? Satellite imagery taken before the blast shows that there was no gas processing plant at this site. And this drone footage, shot less than 48 hours before the explosion, confirms that no gas cylinders were stored here. Some of the videos filmed among the ruins do show gas cylinders. But these cylinders are more than 80 meters away from the center of the explosion. If they had been thrown this far by the force of the blast, they could not have all landed in the same place. But the most compelling evidence is in the video itself. We know that this clip was shot at 8:51 a.m., 5 minutes before the blast. No gas cylinder can contain enough fuel to sustain a leak at this volume and pressure for so long.
I wish you'd hurry the fuck up.
We consulted
I wish you
3
would hurry
specialist
the
engineers,
fuck up.
experts in liquid petroleum gas, in petroleum pipeline safety, and in explosion analysis. All 3 confirmed that a leak of this intensity could not be coming from gas cylinders. That expert testimony is corroborated by those who saw the leak with their own eyes.
Again, there was some smokes coming out from the ground.
The BBC spoke to 5 other eyewitnesses who were within sight of the truck.
Now find out there was smoke coming out from beside the truck there.
Not one of them mentioned gas cylinders or saw a collision.
Yeah,
But 4 of them independently told us the same thing.
it's coming back. That's why I said the white smoke. The white smoke was coming out
From where was it coming out from?
from the ground.
The vapor was coming out of the ground. So if this vapor is not being released by gas cylinders, where is it coming from? We we already know that the leak was here, behind the trunk. Drone footage shows us that the source of this leak became the center of the blast crater. And if we look at satellite imagery taken back in 2009, we see something else. This is the trench dug to contain the NNPC's petroleum pipeline. And that pipeline runs right through the source of the vapor leak.
Granger knows that if you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, you go to great lengths, and sometimes heights, to ensure the power is always flowing. Which is why you can count on Granger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
So what could have caused the pipe to break? Drone footage shows the truck that was burned out in the blast. It's an Iveco 19038 that's unladen, weighs 8 tons. But on March 15th, this truck was fully loaded with rock and probably weighed more than 25 tons. It stopped here on the unsurfaced road directly above the pipeline. At this same location, there's a dip in the land where rainwater has washed out some of the road's surface. And in the days before the blast, it rained enough to soak this area, softening the eroded soil on which a 25-ton truck was about to stop. This explanation that a heavily laden truck stopped on an eroded, unsurfaced road, pressuring the pipeline to breaking point, is an account that matches the available evidence. That explains the relevance of the truck. That corresponds to the video showing a huge spray of vaporized fuel emerging directly above the pipeline in the minutes before the explosion, and that fits with the testimony of 5 eyewitnesses who told us that this spray of flammable liquid drifted downwind until it met the naked gas flame of a tea cellar on the side of the road. But it is not a story that exonerates the NNPC. Responsibility can sometimes be hard to pin down, but not in this case. This is the webpage of the Nigerian Pipelines and Storage Company, NPSC, a subsidiary of the NNPC. It says in black and white that the maintenance and integrity of petroleum pipelines is the sole responsibility of NPSC. If we dig deeper, we find this. Industry regulations require the NNPC to protect the pipeline from washouts and from it being subjected to abnormal loads. Despite these regulations and the fact that their fuel line ran through a densely populated neighborhood, right next to a school, the evidence says the NNPC did not adequately address the erosion of the road surface, did not sufficiently protect the pipe from the truck's load, and did not maintain the integrity of this pipeline. And this tragedy is not a one-off. The pipeline forms part of the 2B system, a network that pumps petrol, diesel, and kerosene from Atlas Cove up through Shoba to the rest of Nigeria. On 3 other occasions in the past 14 months, explosions on this same section of pipeline have killed residents of Lagos. In Ijegun in July 2019, just 5 kilometers north of Shoba, in Idimu in December that same year, and a month after that in Abuleba. All three explosions were blamed on vandals tapping the line to steal fuel. But whatever the cause, these incidents exposed at appalling cost the risks that this pipeline carries into so many neighborhoods of the city. It can be lethal, and long before the explosion at Shoba, the NNPC knew that. Dr. Ambisisi Ambituni, a Nigerian engineer and academic, has been warning about the danger for years.
What is happening to the operator? How is it so difficult for the operator to maintain the safety of those pipelines? If the pipeline was maintained and the integrity of the pipeline is up to standard, then some of those things can be avoided. And this is where NNPC takes a position where, as they did in this particular pipeline explosion, that well, actually, that is an accident that we could not have avoided. And one of the consequences of taking that kind of position is that you deny yourself of the truth, and therefore you cannot learn from those incidents.
We put our findings to the NNPC. They told us
NNPC pipelines are strictly compliant with safety and regulatory guidelines. They denied the pipeline was inadequately protected and said there was no leakage prior to the explosion. They reaffirmed their explanation for the explosion's cause, that the truck hit gas cylinders at an LPG shop. They said despite there being no issue of negligence, they worked closely with the Lagos State government in providing a 2 billion naira relief fund to victims.
This summer at Grocery Outlet, get all the best wines at even better prices. Now through June 17th, you can save an extra 20% off every bottle we've got in stock during our wine sale, with hundreds of wines for every occasion. Don't get caught by the pool without a chilled rosé or your favorite crisp white. And bring along a smooth Cabernet for the summer barbecue or steak dinner. Don't wait. Hurry into your local Grocery Outlet before June 17th and save 20% on every single bottle.
Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market.
6 months after the blast, Amarachi and Komso are still not back at school. The school itself remains in ruins. But the stretch of 2B pipeline running through Abriado has already reopened, and the danger has not gone away.
The pipelines that NNPC own is killing Nigerians. The oil and gas industry is supposed to be a blessing to our country. It is supposed to be the lifeline that saves our people and the people of Nigeria out of poverty. It is supposed to be the one thing that we should be proud of as Nigerians. Fix the pipeline and own up to the responsibility of a pipeline operator.
The Lagos State government has set up a relief fund compensating families who lost loved ones. These families have been paid 2.5 million naira, or $6,500 each. But the NNPC has not acknowledged any negligence or liability, and according to some of the survivors, has done nothing for those whose lives were destroyed. Underneath Nigeria's schools and homes, its oil keeps flowing.
A conflict is raging in Cameroon, one the outside world barely knows exists. It's primarily a battle between Cameroon security forces and armed separatists in the country's two English-speaking regions. A conflict that, in 8 years, has killed over 6,000 and forced hundreds of thousands from their homes. A conflict that has subjected Anglophones like myself to property destruction, unlawful killings, rapes, adoptions, and much more. Both the Cameroonian authorities and armed Anglophone separatist groups have fought hard to silence journalists in their reporting. Working on this story is a risk, but I believe it's a risk worth taking to show what people in my country are going through and the price they're having to pay. A conflict which is known as the Anglophone crisis has been ravaging my land for almost a decade, and funerals such as this have become all too common in this part of Cameroon. The unrest started in 2016 when people began protesting against the conditions facing the Anglophone minority in this Francophone-dominated country. Since then, it has developed into an all-out conflict, and its impact on ordinary people across the region has been devastating. Today is John Timabia's funeral, a government civil servant. While on a work trip in the Anglophone Southwest, Johnson and 5 other colleagues were captured by armed separatists fighting for the independence of Cameroon's 2 English-speaking regions.
I was calling his line, the thing was ringing, but he wasn't picking. About 10 minutes later, I received a phone call from him. Before he could even say something, he took the phone and then the person he was talking said, "Madam, we need 35 million. If we don't send the money within 24 hours, we'll kill your husband."
35 million Central African francs, about $56,000, is an impossible sum to use here. Whilst attempting to
It's not funny. I'm going to say it real slow for you. Frogs! Won't you fight for your life? Frogs, freaking frogs! I don't like a frog! Freaking frogs! Frogs! Freaking frog crap! Won't you like a frog? It's not funny. I'm going to say it real slow for you.
Terrorist! Some of you don't even realize the full brevity of your real circumstance, and you are in for the biggest awakening of your life. Your legacy will not be that you were ever an officer. It will be that you are a stalker, a kidnapper, a thief, a hacker, a child abuser, a fraudster, that you spent years collecting money from the state of Washington to do nothing but perpetrate felonies against me, and that because of you, dozens and dozens of individuals' lives are ruined and they're going to prison, some of whom the FBI has stated have no idea that they're going to prison. So again, hurry the fuck up and come downstairs. Again.
to raise money. Dora received a call from a relative of her husband.
You forfeit your right to a speedy trial when you are convicted and charged with terrorism.
that my
And
husband
everyone who
was
didn't blow the whistle
I didn't even
is
know what to
already
do.
those things.
I was just shouting constantly. Tuesday he was traveling. He was kidnapped. Friday he was killed.
Johnson, an Anglophone himself, was not just murdered, but decapitated. His body left on the road. The relatives of the other 5 who were kidnapped have no idea where their loved ones are.
Let the government take its responsibility and help us to resolve this crisis so that the community in peace, once and for all.
My name is Andy Morales. I'm a physical educator and I've been teaching for 35 years. Just knowing I'm going to retire with a strong pension.
And for those of you wondering, well, why aren't you taking any countermeasures? You know exactly what to do to boot us off of your YouTube channel on the Lenovo ThinkPad. It's because the FBI said not to, because you're acquiring additional counts and criminal charges. Every moment that I continue to be illegally detained, you attempt to murder me by both starvation as well as to not have video.
Purpose-built for marketers.
Every clickety-clack on the keyboard.
Marketing.
Everything you thought you did to defend yourselves. Prison for life without parole. So come on down the stairs. Come on. Come get that prize. Life in prison without parole. I don't want to wait for next week. I didn't want to wait for the last 6 months, for the last 10 months, for the last 3 years, and in some instances for 8 years. And yet here we are.
The number of separatist fighters is unknown, but it's estimated
Come on
to be
downstairs.
between 2,000 and 4,000.
It's a happy ending for me as long as I survive.
This includes me and my family. In January 2019, we were forced to leave our home in Kumba, in the southwest of Cameroon.
We used to wake up in the morning to dead bodies on the streets, or you hear that a house has been set ablaze, or you hear that someone was kidnapped, people's body parts chopped off. How do you live in a city where every single morning you're worried if your relatives are safe? It was very difficult. It was very difficult to stay in Kumba.
The conflict that is plaguing the country along its linguistic lines can be traced back to colonialism. Under colonial rule, the region that we today mostly call Cameroon was split in two, with 2 Anglophone regions, North and South, administered by Britain, and a French territory governed from Paris. In 1961, as independence approached for the Cameroonian territories under British rule, Northern Cameroon voted to join Nigeria, while Southern Cameroonians joined Cameroon. The country began as a federation, but in 1972, it became a unitary state. Since then, Anglophones have felt marginalized by the centralized Francophone government. And in late 2016, peaceful protests began against the creeping use of the Francophone legal system in the region's courtrooms.
It is now more than a month that we have been on strike after having notified the government about our dissatisfaction with the erosion of the common law.
I sat down to talk with Barrister Agonkumo, who was one of the English-speaking lawyers leading the protest at the time. Anger was building at the fact that the government was sending French-educated civil law judges who do not understand English common law to their courts.
We felt that because of the bijural nature, the bilingual nature, the history of this country, where 2 systems had to coexist, there was a need for lawyers to rise up, to raise their voices against this encroachment into the common law.
Teachers and students will soon join the lawyers in calling for an end to the marginalization of the Anglophone minority. These political demands led to demonstrations and, eventually, protesters launched Operation Ghost Towns. Strikes where for several days each week, shops and institutions closed their doors.
We started by writing to the government, which failed to respond. We called for boycotts of courts, we called for school boycotts, but it was peaceful and civil. At no point in time Did we advocate for violence?
But Cameroon's government responded with force to the protest, and violence is what followed. Beatings, intimidations, and mass arrests. A disproportionate and daily use of violence by the Cameroonian security forces, in the words of the African Union's Commission on Human Rights. While all this was unfolding, I went out to speak with people in the streets of my hometown.
The government of our country, they don't have a listening ear to those who are raising issues that are burning their hearts. Up to this moment we're talking, our head of state has not yet made a statement. He rather sent a truck of military forces to go and be rough handling peaceful demonstrators. They are preparing for war and not for peace.
As the weeks went by, these words, preparing for war, not for peace, kept ringing in my ears. In the first months of the protest, at least 4 peaceful protesters were killed by security forces. Hundreds were arrested, including Abonkomu, who was held under anti-terrorism laws. And in an attempt to quash anti-government criticism, the internet was cut off. This also had direct repercussions on me and my work as a journalist. I recorded my experience at the time.
Hello to everyone, my name is Bless. Today is 12 March 2017. 52 months since the internet was disconnected. As a reporter, it is really affecting me.
I filmed myself on my way to Douala, in Francophone Cameroon, where I could access the internet. I wanted to document the 7-hour round trip that I was having to make just to let the world know what was happening in my region.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
The shutdown lasted 93 days. The government's violence in responding to the protests hardened the views of those in the country's 2 Anglophone regions. It was after these acts of violence that armed separatist groups were formed. And in late 2017, as tensions escalated, Anglophone separatist leaders declared independence for what they called the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Internationally, this declaration went largely unnoticed. In Cameroon, however, from this point on, conflict raged.
I'm Ian Galbraith. My family and I own the Carlson Block in Wilkinson, Washington. We do a naturally leavened wood fire pizza. I met my wife in this town. We had our babies in this town, and now we're fortunate enough to make the most accessible food on the planet, and that's pizza. So, a lot of steaks, a lot of ground beef. My family loves it, and so we feed our family a lot of just classic American stuff: meatloaf, meatballs, sloppy joes. They do a cheeseburger pizza that people seem to like. I know my family loves it. I think it's really special to be able to cook for someone. The fact that you can cook for your family using good ingredients in a wholesome way is just one of the best things in the world. So hopefully my children get to see that and model that in their own lives as they grow older.
I head out into the English-speaking regions to meet with some of those who carry the burden of this crisis, the Anglophone population. It's a journey I've made countless times over the 8 years I've spent on this field, and it remains a dangerous one. Journalists are a target, both for the separatists and the army. Neither side wants the world to know what's really happening in the region. But I wouldn't let this intimidate me.
I thought you were going to show your boobs. There we
I
go.
had a mole removed.
Where?
I did have a mole removed here, so it's red. I have to get it, ignore that. But I was on FaceTime with Andy Letterman and Esther Kavitsky the other day, and I was showing them this, like, mole removal thing. And then Andy Letterman goes, "Did you get that bra from the Holocaust Museum?" How great is that joke?
100%. Hey guys, brand new Two Bears, One Cave. I'm here with my guest host for the day, my bestie. I absolutely love you. You know I do. And I want to start it. I want to start today off on a. I want everything to go in a great, fun way. And I want to start off today's episode with talking about dogs.
Okay.
Because I have the greatest fucking dog in the world.
Okay.
I have the greatest dog in the world, who every morning, full mastiff, comes in bed. Tom Segura told me, he was like, do not get a fucking mixed breed. Those should be put down. That's what Tom said. And I was like, what is a pure breed? Pure breed, man. They got y'all with puppy mills. That's Tom. That's Tom. Anyway. We're gonna shit all over Tom today. Let's talk about Tom for a second.
Because here's the thing, just so you know, I'm in your space.
Yeah.
This is your show. Everyone listening to your show probably doesn't like.
Why do you think that?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're coming to see Tom and Bert, and so I just want to make sure I don't interrupt you.
We called you. Oh, don't worry about interrupting. I do that all the time.
No,
so
I know.
If you interrupt people, I've never listened
I know,
to the show
it's
once.
wild.
We call you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You are one of our friends for real.
Why do you bang the table? You know that fucks up the sound.
No, it doesn't. You hear that, dog? No, it
I think
doesn't.
it's just you have fat knuckles.
No, I have. By the way, let's jump there then. I am down 17 pounds.
You are svelte.
I look good.
When I saw you, I was like, motherfucker looks svelte.
That's what I like to hear. And got my blood work back from the doctor.
And
Liver.
No cirrhosis.
No cirrhosis.
Shocking.
No cirrhosis.
Shocking.
More importantly, no calcium in my heart. No perfect EKG. Like the CT scan where they scan the interior of the heart.
Oh, is that what it is, Bert? Oh, what is an EKG? Explain to me, please. I'm just a stupid lady. What is an EKG?
I'm doing this.
I'll read it aloud. The three comments that I just posted at 8:50 a.m. and 8:51. Female felons upstairs showing male officers / felon. HP Chromebook is being used with Cisco Network, Verizon root access. Hacks to perp. Final remaining non-actionable felony. Murder to be deemed suicide. That reassurance proves criminal intent over 5 times over just today. Codename Mini-Me / Asshead. One of the 2 ladies upstairs at present facing 1,000 years per minimum. Mando sentencing.
22. I'd like my vagina would go, ugh. You know?
Also, there is a 10-second delay on visual per
I had Pat Denning's character
channel, dashboard,
was,
and live.
Make my vagina dry up or something. And then there were all these articles written about me saying that I like ruin television. I'm raunchy. I'm disgusting. Like I'm gross. And yeah, a lot of these guys came for me, and then I thought I was like a raunchy person.
Really? So then do you what would be your go-to word if it wasn't vagina? I don't like pussy. I don't mind pussy with my friends.
I like axe wound, personally.
Stick it in my axe wound. Hey.
No countermeasures are being taken. You'll be able to come down here and you'll think that whatever the plan is going to be working.
Meat curtain. He was using.
You're to be surprised, as the FBI has had me tell these imbeciles since April Fool's Day, that in fact it was fully recorded and intact and in their possession.
So No, but I
Maybe
like,
this happened, or maybe it didn't. Dude,
I'm
you
not
need to
authorized to
watch
take any
podcasts.
countermeasures.
You need to
I know
watch
exactly
less
what
and
to
live
do
more.
to boot them off of both laptops.
no shit.
You
The
need to live
FBI
without
told me.
documenting a
In,
little bit.
in campus
But they
culture,
also
I
told
start
me
going,
not
so
to
I've talked for
because you're being
100,000
charged for
hours.
this.
Like,
Oh yeah, oh no, I've been sent some videos. That
Last
are
week
sketchy
they
as
said
shit.
that they were
I remember when I
going
found
to
out
be
you couldn't
acquiring
send
evidence
pictures.
for every idiot
I can
that still
cancel
thought
you
there was even
whenever I
a
want.
slight possibility they
I
weren't
can
going to
literally
prison for the
ruin
rest
your
of their
life
lives.
whenever I want.
And that's where we
Remember
are.
how we ended our phone call the other day?
No, I think I was.
Go! Get this bus, or I'm going to tell you when you raped me, and you hung up. You hung up, and I was laughing, and I
So come on
responded, and you
downstairs.
weren't there,
I'm sick of
and I
fucking
called
screaming
Tom.
at you and
I
I'm
guess just so
hungry.
you know, if when ever says I raped her, I did it. I know, it's a joke.
You can't rape me. I wouldn't say no.
I could not. No, I don't think I could take you.
We would just die laughing. Imagine you raping me. You raping me would be
Oh,
I would just be like,
oh,
what are you doing?
oh my God.
Imagine you trying to rape me. I
Oh.
feel like you couldn't.
I've actually thought of it. I don't think I could have sex with you. I don't think.
We would be. Well, you know, I tried to suck Poppy D's dick one time. We died laughing.
No.
No, I.
Hold on, start this story at the beginning, and if you think you're going too slow, you're not going slow enough.
No, it's like we were just talking. I was like, let me try to suck your dick. Like, let's see.
Where was I? Where was Tom and I are sitting in the back room too?
You were in Pensacola, Florida. Is my guess.
Jesus Christ!
You were on the Travel Channel at the
So
time.
you
No, this
said-
was like in my when I was like a kid. I used to open for Bobby on the road.
Okay, so let's put. This is bell bottom Whitney wearing.
Corduroy backpack wearing, New Balance wearing.
This is before Broke Girls.
Yes. Oh.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. When I wasn't.
By the way,
really grown.
this Whitney, pull up a picture of early Whitney. This, not my favorite Whitney. I gotta be honest with you. You like my wife have gotten much more beautiful the older you've gotten.
I concur.
You have gotten.
I concur.
I saw a picture.
New money.
Oh yeah. Go to hands together, Whitney. Hands together,
That's
Whitney.
embarrassing.
Oh, that's
Wow.
actually a pretty Whitney.
No, that's no. I had money by that. I think.
Is that eating disorder Whitney?
That's eating disorder Whitney next to Chris.
Was that no? You know what that is?
That's-
That's Whitney working way too hard. Whitney.
That's Vanity. That's Whitney. That's Whitney with no health insurance yet. Eating disorder Whitney.
I don't like you like that. I don't like you like that. I like
You like
this
me like
Whitney.
that?
I don't.
Oh, neither do I. I'm ashamed of it.
I like you like this.
I'm embarrassed. It's roast. I had Nikki Glazer on the other day, and I was like, "Can we please do a fucking roast our old stand-up specials? I want to go through just roast our old shit."
So wait.
Why you haven't told me about the misogynist character?
Wait, what were we talking about right before this?
Misogynist.
No, Bobby, you talking about immediately? Come on.
No, we were just laughing. I was just like, "What if I sucked your dick? How funny would that be?"
And he was like, I don't know. I have a good sense of humor.
And we were just like, it'd be so funny. Like, it would just be so hilarious. Like, what would happen? And we just would start laughing. And I was like, let's try to do it. And it just wouldn't happen. And then we were just joking because it would be like, would I be able to get past your belly? Like, would your belly be hitting me in the head? Like,
that's a real question.
it's like a logistic. Like, I just get really stuck in the logistics of like, how could I suck your dick? And like, would I throw out my back? Like, it was just like a
Could you catch him?
Yeah, like, could I?
He'd be
would
up
I-
on the couch, hands on the
like,
wall.
would you have to be in like a reverse like bridge so that I could get to it? Like,
Have you ever given a blowjob and the guy came so fast you were caught off guard? That you were like, I just want to. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's all over the place. Someone's like dropping a can that you opening a can.
No, I've done that. I've had that with sex with younger guys. Where it's
Oh,
like,
younger guys.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, now I have to go to IP and
I got so good at that I had a fucking the first time I had sex with Ann, I came within like seconds, and I said, "Wish, I think someone's breaking into my house. I'm gonna text you what's going on."
after you had sex with him.
I put it in like probably 1, 2, like maybe like
What was it? 1944.
No, this was 1953. That was my address, Glencoe, 1953 Glencoe was my address. All right, maybe I should
Stop
say that.
blasting whoever lives there.
It's a great fucking house. It's accessible to be the Mills old house. And so maybe it's 1958. Anyway.
Cecil B. DeMille's old house.
Yeah. We had a stage in the corner. We used to have a stage for a band. It was the fucking coolest goddamn house. Three stories. Were awesome. Anyway, first time I had sex with Leanne, condom. I was a condom guy. I was using AIDS.
We can all agree AIDS was made in a lab in Wuhan.
And so, well, now that we have the COVID, we know how they do it.
But wait,
So
what condom? Yeah.
I wore a condom when the first time I had sex with Leanne. It sounds so weird. Like I was like,
I know. Was it for pregnancy or STD?
oh, I was a big STD guy. I thought any girl that wanted to have sex before. I have really fucked up
fear of
diseases, it's interesting. The second Leanne and I stopped having protected sex, I wanted her to get pregnant. I didn't care. I was
Is
like,
that how you knew you loved her? Because you wanted her to get pregnant?
Yep. I was like, I want.
That's so weird because I had a guy that I was dating and like all he would talk about is like, I want to get you pregnant. Like it's so hot. And then I haven't heard from you for 2 weeks. I not me.
Wait. So, yeah, it's interesting. So let's go back to sex. So you've had sex with guys.
I like that your segue is it's interesting.
No.
That's your tether. That's your like.
Yeah.
It's interesting. What the fuck? Like that's the new. What else is happening?
No.
Like,
You said you've had sex with guys younger that have had quick.
Yeah. Well, this was when I was like 24. I had sex with a guy that
I
was
thought
like
you were having sex with
19. But yeah, no. Now I'm having sex with a guy that's 30, and that's not.
What are you talking about?
He's like brilliant.
Oh, you're not 48. You're still like 30 something.
38.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot.
I've been 66 for like 20 years.
You have old woman energy.
I've always had it. I have old man energy.
No, you've got sexual energy, and you do.
But I don't think I have sexual energy at all.
No, you.
Sorry, I'm an antibiotic system.
No, you definitely do. I remember the first time I ever met you. I remember I was blown away at how close you were. I think I've said this on the.
Oh yeah, then we hugged when we hugged.
No, I said, we were at the improv. I'm almost certain I said this to you. You were talking. Whatever you're doing, you were really close to me, and you were like really close to me. You touched me a couple times, and I walked away, and I was like this, and Patrice was like, "Oh, bitch touched your face. You got no power now." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I saw what happened. She just owned your shit." Patrice is there, and whatever energy you were doing, it's very natural to you, but it was Patrice was watching it, and he was calling it like prison energy.
It's actually this. It's actually West Virginia energy. I'm like Appalachia. That's my ancestry. Appalachia. Who? Leanne?
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Foothills of Appalachia.
Whoa. So these were. I had to go to West Virginia last year because I made jokes about it on the
I love West
James
Virginia.
Corden program about being from West Virginia and my ancestry, and I have such a like we used to have to like ward off bears.
Yeah.
With our personalities, like in the 1700s, like in Holland, like a hollow.
That is where Dolly Parton grew up.
Yeah, exactly.
And Loretta Lynn.
Exactly right. So like West Virginia, Appalachia people, like we don't fucking play, dude.
Yeah, that is so. So where is the poor girl now? Because you're not poor, and you're not, and.
But it's like I come with gifts for your family when I show up.
Yeah,
I come with gifts for your family.
That's Leanne.
Like you don't show up without.
Come and get it. Come and
Like,
get your
you
life
protect
sentence without
your
parole, you
child.
stupid sacks of shit. I'm fucking hungry.
Come on downstairs.
I did.
And that's Leanne. Is like
that was Leanne.
That's what you put on the list of people who stalked me. There's supposed to be
Is there
16
no way
plus
to use any of the
individuals for
footage
the
from the cabin
FBI.
shit that we shot?
Yeah, I laughed so fucking hard during that episode.
That was so funny and emotional, and I do think that should have a home at some point.
I wish. Maybe I don't know.
I wasted so much time,
I
know. I'm not getting paid to do this. Why don't podcast guests get paid?
Shut the fuck up.
Why don't I pay my guests? I started paying my guests.
You paid Kesha?
I did not pay Kesha.
Okay.
I paid, but I did her podcast, and I.
Kesha's got a podcast?
Yes.
Kesha.
Come on, North Everett Police Precinct.
Never mind.
Come on, Everett Police Department.
Come and get it. Come and get what
Tiger
you've been
blankets
waiting for.
for
3
background.
years of getting paid to perpetrate crimes against me, the state, and the feds. Come on.
So
Come on.
Let's go back
Come
to the
and
poor
get
girl.
it.
Me.
Yeah, because
You're gonna
me-
lick my
was
whole
watching
asshole.
the other day. I know,
And a
we
lot
have
of
to do
assholes
this.
in prison. Come and
Okay.
get it. I'm hungry.
Most people.
I wanna
That's most people.
No.
What does
but
poor
it's-
mean?
Because it's something that I've watched Leanne battle with of getting money, and I know that I wonder how. I wanted to know what cars you've owned. I want to know the direction of all the
Sure.
cars. Because there is a leap when you
You
go.
guys and your fucking cars.
No. It's not.
I listen to Burr's podcast, and I listen for the ads. Truly, Burr.
Yeah.
I just live to listen to him try to pronounce the products.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny, and him trying to figure out how to plug in his computer.
This is my impression of Bird doing an ad, and then host ad libs, and you. Oh, wow! I gotta ad lib that. Yeah.
And everything.
So what were you saying about Bird?
I just love listening to him read his ads. They're like confrontational.
Come
With his success. It's so funny to me. But
Come on.
man, I come
Come on,
from,
you're gonna get way in there.
West Virginia.
Come on.
a place
Come
called
downstairs.
Harrisburg, Roanoke, Virginia.
Why aren't you coming downstairs? Oh, are you coming up with a new backup plan? The FBI can hear you, you dumb fucks. Speak up.
Free or vintage only.
So there's a hustle in you.
There's a hustle. I will not pay for things. Like we grew up going to flea markets, antique fairs, swap meets. So
Come downstairs. Come on.
Barney's.com.
I'm not kidding about being hungry. You've been starving me.
And then shop up. I'll sell things, and then I'll go to my Etsy app.
It's time.
And then I'll just Google.
It is time.
Best rainbow best vintage, and I'm gonna put $30. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So wait. Here's the juxtaposition.
The news is the secret's out that I have a speech impediment. Everyone knows who my podcast is.
So here's the juxtaposition: is that you go, oh, all these fans hate me. Here's the thing: is
I don't say that.
You just said that earlier.
Oh, your fans.
Yeah.
Not my fans.
Yeah, no, I know your fans. Your fans. But I don't think they do, and I think the ones that do have a different view of who you are because we know who you are, and I think sometimes you come off as this uber successful Hollywood producer, actress, comedian, kind of showrunner.
Beautiful. Sexy.
Beautiful is it? Because every time I've talked to really beautiful women, they say, you know what's crazy? Like guys don't hit on me, and they're like, really? And they're like, yeah. I know very beautiful women guys get intimidated. I know I'm intimidated by hot chicks. I literally was like, there were chicks that were so hot, I'd be like, I'm not even gonna fucking talk to them. I don't even want to get shot down. I know I'm gonna get shot down. I'm gonna pass. So, but I think that's where it comes from, and I know who you are as this like really kind of grounded.
I feel like we had this conversation on the broadcast.
No, let us have it again. Now. But that's my point. Is like, and then I know that's how you. So talk me through every car you've owned from the first car to the last car, and I think it just shows a progression of. I want to know the car
That's a great question.
You just remember everything that you think you could possibly do to create a non-existent defense.
First car, mine. I will go.
Is a series of felonies, obstruction of justice, evidence tampering. Currently, you're all guilty of intimidating and retaliating against an FBI informant with threats of murder. That's the only remaining felony that wasn't reported in 2017.
Safety pin to my
and every other felony you threatened and was reported in 2023 and in August 14th, 2024, you've already made actionable, i.e. you're already about to be convicted for it.
Like there was a lot of that.
Do you understand? Come downstairs, stop making me yell it. You won't call the sheriffs because you know the sheriffs will arrest you.
Like, who's RHGA?
Yeah, I know. Literally, I was like, I would get like an engagement ring, like a diamond ring, and I'm like 6 years old. Like,
so come on downstairs. Again, I am hungry.
You know,
because you've been starving me. You're not officers. You're child abusers, you're stalkers, you're fraudsters, you're mail tamperers and package thieves.
My dad represented the Church of Scientology. And
your identity stealers, your hackers, your terrorists, your kidnappers.
We got all your work. My dad worked for them.
Your fraudsters of your employer, your fraudsters of the U.S., your attempted murderers.
So we had a big house.
And you're done. All you have left is to murder me in a way that's deemed a suicide.
Big house.
So come right on downstairs so I can fucking eat.
Back on subject, Whitney.
You can go to prison.
Can you
and
imagine
I
if
can
Tom was
potentially
here?
be
All right,
assaulted and kidnapped
first
again,
car-
whatever you've got in the
Tom would be
fucking
like
plan.
shitting.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Tom. He has a bunch of questions. He's like, how much money she has? I'm like, Tom, fucking Jesus.
Cowards, cowards and chickens.
So,
All
okay,
you are
first car that
doing
I
is delaying
remember.
your detainment, and
First
I'm sick
car
of it.
that I-
16 years old.
Oh, 16. Oh no, this was so all of
You're
our
torturing
mothers
me
were,
and
quote,
delaying
older.
your own
You have to
detainment
stop
because
acting
you're
older.
scared and
It's
you're
nuts.
dumb as fuck
All
because
of
you've
our
been doing this for
moms,
years.
the best they
It
could
is
to
time
have
for
was
you
their
to
face
go
and
to
their-
prison. And it is time for me to eat a fucking meal.
Like they had to hustle for us.
Come the fuck
right?
downstairs.
And that was they had to Cardi B that shit. Okay?
She's wet ass pussy.
Don't make me think about my mom's wet ass pussy. Not in your mom's house, your mom's wet ass pussy house. Don't make me do it.
Ooh, name change.
So yeah, brand steals. So I had an Acura CL. Was my first car, which was very nice. We didn't have money. It was a lease, and I crashed it listening to Lauryn Hill.
Whoa!
Yeah, Acura CL. It was rose
two-door?
gold. Rose gold. Upper left, upper right. Yeah,
And this is basketball Whitney.
Yeah, but also
By the way, that picture, basketball Whitney, I want to grab her and hug her because it's the cutest Whitney there is.
She was not a gay, but by basketball, Whitney was also working with an eating disorder and like doing like modeling in QVC. So I was like basketball Whitney. Was
Oh my
like,
God!
So all for the dads out there, the daughters, and the disordered eating.
No,
like,
the eating disorders are gone now.
Okay.
No one gets them anymore. Keep going. At least my daughters don't have them left. So I just figured they would have gotten them.
Right.
But they didn't get them, so I was like, I guess no one gets them anymore.
Got
Keep going. So basketball Whitney, adorable, a little plus size in her head, not comfortable with the fact that she's good at
also,
basketball.
when's the last time you hung out with your daughters not on camera? And also, then
Why would I do that? I wasn't going to use them.
Also,
my daughter just gave me
also you need to pay your daughters for their time on your show.
No, my daughter just gave me a speech about jokes I wasn't allowed to tell in this new world. Georgia just sat me down and said, "Just give me." I said something. I made a lighthearted joke in my house about some celebrity who had transitioned.
Which one?
Elliot. And I just made a joke. I made a lighthearted joke, and Georgia was like, "Hey man, not cool." And I went, "What do you mean?" I go, "I'm in my house because I'm just telling you, if you're working this out for the stage, don't do it." I went, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, just so you know, you tell that joke, and then everyone knows my dad thinks that way." And I went, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna go here."
Yeah.
Like, why don't I just
Well,
say
then that's
recording?
probably the joke.
Oh yeah. All right. Action.
You can stop using the video decoder and come the fuck downstairs. No countermeasures will be taken. Here to proceed downstairs, feeling confident.
Sorry, I'm going to be
And then I get to
Canada,
eat.
July 18th, and Halifax,
Come on
Canada.
downstairs.
I'm going to be in
Stop
Calgary,
using the
in
video
Ridgefield,
decoder.
Connecticut. I'm going to do two
Just
shows
stop.
there, and then
Come on
Huntington. Where's
downstairs.
Huntington? Is that New York?
The
Oh, that's where you're
lottery's
from, right, Mikey?
mine.
Oh yeah, I like Huntington. Is that where the guy killed all those Craigslist trollops?
No, that's north.
Chemo Beach or something.
Gilgo.
Gilgo Island, Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, from where I hail, actually Roanoke, Virginia. So come out and see me if I beat your ass in basketball in high school. I'm really entertaining myself today. I'm going to be in Alabama, 2 cities in Alabama. Then I'll be in Reading, Pennsylvania, and then I will be in Philadelphia and Go Birds, and then Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and then New Orleans. Got
All right. You're back in the rotation, Elliot. Guess your joke gets told. That's genius. I just tell the fucking joke and then go, my daughter's not cool with that joke. Oh, fuck yeah. I love it. God damn it. All right, keep going. I have another joke I want to run by you.
Can I not just write your act right now?
Yeah.
Can I drive over here to make you richer?
Georgia lit me up.
I do not have.
I said a bunch of shit like,
I'm being used.
So, Acura, next car. You go to college.
Love this.
On a scholarship.
I didn't go to college on a
You
scholarship.
walked on.
Walked-
Basketball.
Can I? Do you want me to answer?
I'm asking.
You have Tourette's?
No, I'm a really active interview. Wait till we get to Tom Cruise's blow up. All right.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have questions.
I have questions, and I'm already telling you I'm on Tom's side. I don't even know what he said, but I'm on Tom's side.
You interrupt yourself.
I know. By the way, this is going to be Tom's favorite episode. He's going to be like, Cruise and Spirit.
Okay, so Accuracy L crashed it. Was voted worst driver at my high school, St. Andrews. College, I didn't have a car when I was in Philly. I took the bus.
Where'd you go to school? You went to Penn?
I went to Penn, but I took night classes at Temple University.
Shout out to Bill Cosby.
Yep.
Keep going. Night classes, get it?
The Cosby Show is excellent.
It was great.
It is great.
It was.
It is great.
Summer keeps going, those girls just kept their mouth shut. I'm like, Tom, you can't say that. Keep going.
You can say that. You can say it. But when you say it, you're an asshole.
We should tell him that when he gets off oxys. Now, go ahead.
What did he use? Ketamine? Cosby?
No. I think it was an old school prelude. You know, there was not to divert this, but there was I want to say in someone's book, they were talking about how Hugh Hefner used to do slip curls and Mickey all the time.
The Mickey was
that's what a roofie was. It was super commonplace. You know, I'm obsessed with a little bit of history because you go back to history, you see how absolutely horrible. I'll say men. I'm just gonna say men.
I know.
Because that's all that history is about.
Sex started being consensual like 25 years ago.
I would argue 5. Because
how about any day now?
I think in a week it's going to start being consensual.
Last night I pounded some NyQuil and I'm not sure what happened.
This podcast is brought to you by Talkspace. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, then good news is you're human. There's a whole lot to be anxious about with this 24/7 news cycle, the pandemic, divisive politics. We all need to take care of our mental health and work through our emotions with a licensed therapist. That's why I love Talkspace. With Talkspace, you can sign up online or download the app and start therapy that same day with a licensed therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy. Depending on the plan you choose, you can also schedule live video sessions with your therapist, and you'll pay the same amount every month. It is so easy to budget. What's annoying to me is if you miss therapy on Tuesday, then you got to wait another whole week where you can reschedule for Wednesday. And you can go to therapy. You don't have to wait an entire week. Talkspace is making therapy affordable and accessible for everyone. They have a great therapy network full of therapists that has thousands of licensed therapists. Secure, private, which I love. Talking to my friends is so different than talking to a licensed therapist who has the expertise and knowledge of give you practical guidance. Talkspace gives us the support we need at an affordable price. As listeners of this podcast, you get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com or download the app. Make sure to use the code BEARS to get $100 off your first month and show support for the show. That's BEARS at Talkspace.com. This podcast is brought to you by Harry's Razors. When I was 13 years old, I started shaving. I used to go through 3 razors. I do 3 shaves on a razor, and then I throw it out. My dad's like, what the fuck are you doing? Those things are expensive, and they're overpriced. My dad believed, just like these 2 friends, Jeff and Andy. Jeff and Andy retired playing overpriced razors, and they thought most of those big brands are overdesigned, overpriced, and out of touch. So they founded Harry's as return to the essential quality blades for an honest price. It was $2 for a refill. Harry's founders wanted to sell products they'd be proud of, so they raised a bunch of money and started a factory out in Germany, a razor factory. They bought one, and then they've been honing precision blades for about 100 years. There still comes from Sweden. We all know how great things from Sweden are. They own the research and development all the way to the factory, and this allows them to keep their prices lower. And I'm telling you, a lot of people say that their first shave is as smooth as their 8th shave with these, and their prices are low. They're very low. They confidently stand by their blades with a 100% money-back guarantee, and Harry's is available everywhere you shop. Harry's has great offers for our listeners of our show. New U.S. customers can redeem Harry's trial set at harrys.com/bears for just $3. You'll get 5 blades. You'll get a 5-blade razor featuring their new sharper blades and a weighted ergonomic handle, foam shaving with aloe gel, and a travel cover to protect your baby when you're on the go. Go to harrys.com/bears and redeem your trial offer today. So no car in Philly. No car in Philly. By the way, I'm just getting to the point when you buy an expensive car. That's all I want to know.
Okay.
And then get
So my dad, who was an amazing, resilient, like huckster, magic man.
Did he drink?
No, his addictions were my mom. That was there was a lot of alcoholism in my family, but for alcoholism to be present, alcohol doesn't have to be present. So there's other kinds of addictions in my family. My addiction, the cunning and baffling disease of addiction in my family was very insidious because it manifested in other ways, like in gifting